there's the second turn to make the 90. They broke that on 2 foot. Now we're in the ditch line, heading out towards where we got that green mark. And I did not see another Y on its back. And then if I remember right, it transitioned to SDR at the 60 foot, 62 or 63 foot marker.
Yes, sir.
So in answer to that question, it is scheduled 40 PVC all the way out to the stub. Because when it was clogged before and the water was somewhat murky, I could see the transition over to at the stub. And usually they'll go 6-inch SDR underneath the street. I saw that thing twisting up. Like, really don't feel like being that guy today. I think I've had enough this week. So at 57 feet 7 inches is where you start to make that dive on a 45, and then there's the SDR right there. And then, like I said,
That's our connection.
I was bugging it because of the utilities. Where my green mark is out in the grass area, I think that's that. But when I saw the you could see the echo of the camera from the PVC, and then I knew we were in this, but I think where my mark is at was on that dive. Okay. That's why I wasn't sure how accurate it was, and it was deep. So there's your dive. And then there's your 45 where you flatten out. That should put you about right at curb level, or at the next to the curb. I really apologize if you guys have stuff to do.
No,
I didn't know if we were interrupting you at all, so I wasn't planning on guys being here that long. So
No, I
here
appreciate it, I know.
here at 80 foot, but is that actually it's hard to tell if that's a protrusion or if that was something that was stuck to that pipe. Devin, don't laugh. Go get my grandpa glasses. I went from the multifocal contacts over because I looked between shooting and doing other stuff. I need my long.
I need my readers.
What are they? 1.5s?
That or 1 point might be 2s.
Ooh boy, up close and personal.
Inside.
Oh no, that's a lot. Woo!
Too strong.
Yeah, that one's a little too strong. It's really hard to see. I can't tell if that pipe's protruded right there. But even if it was, sir, what in the world would they protrude that? Because it's not a bore through, because there's nothing over on this side, even though my cable's residing right there. It doesn't look like a big ripple either. Like if something punctured, it would have pushed inward.
Shatters and stuff. What, is that like a green?
That's what I was seeing too. That's why I told Devin go get my grandpa glasses. I need to see. It's kind of hard to tell, but it is. It definitely looks green.
Mm-hmm.
And how many feet are that?
79 and change, 79.11.
Alright, so you're,
It doesn't. I know Google Fiber hits like the back of my hand. Glad my truck truck and finally get something to drink.
Can I get you something?
I'm alright,
Are you
man.
sure?
Yeah.
Got bubbly water in a can, got Coke.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
Bubbly water in a can.
Bubbly water. That's really, I don't think it's punctured that. Cause see, the side of the pipe, it's too smooth. Even with SDR 26, if that got pumped, it would have, you would see the push in. Mm-hmm.
You not hit it with that?
And then there's the waste. That's just waste.
Go back to that. You were. Yeah.
You want me to try to locate that,
No,
sir?
I want you to just. I want to try to see.
You want me to come back a little bit?
A little bit. Okay, right there. Perfect. Okay, now I can enlarge.
I don't know. It doesn't look like. Well, let's just carry on.
I don't know that was.
So there's the end of my cable right there. Because I do not have a blade on the end of this.
Yeah, so whatever it was kept falling flying.
Well, we're going over it. Oh, there's the gravel. That's minimal. I'm not even going to sneeze over that. So the pipe that we're in now, ma'am, is 6-inch. I believe is where they switched over. So it's a much larger pipe, ma'am, than what's in the yard.
Okay. So we're like in the street now?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Correct. Nothing crazy. Plus, I don't have a skid on the camera to set us kind of up out of the flow line. So we're now at 105 and change. We should be coming up on the elusive Kansas City, Missouri tap drop. There's a dive right there. Now I'm looking for the 6x8 tap. There it is. There's the city sewer, guys. Right there, 115 feet, 5 inches, give or take some change. And you're open.
Appreciate it.
I just don't know, guys, if that was maybe, I mean, I don't, some sort of,
That thing felt solid.
it was, whatever it was solid as a
It was-
rock, and we
yeah.
were pushing it.
But that's different than what that last thing you were showing me with like the green on it. That wasn't where that was, right? That block that you first hit wasn't where that.
So where the camera couldn't pass originally when we
Yeah.
first got here
Yeah.
was that green mark in the yard.
Okay.
That's next to the two like pedestals.
Yeah. Out in the yard. Yeah.
That was when we first got here. Whatever it was solid as a rock. Whatever it was polishing up the blades.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have had anything with resin or anything, sir, would they?
Anything with resin?
Yes, sir. That could have started partially setting up, maybe. So what I'm getting at is maybe there was maybe a small, because there was gravel in the pipe,
Way down.
you know, but what I'm getting at is, I guess, if that gravel was a little bit further up, because that spot that we were seeing was in a straightaway. We weren't on a dive. We were already flattened out on elevation. And maybe there was a small amount of gravel right there, and then it started piling up. It doesn't look like anything protruded.
I would doubt it because that pipe is so thick and strong.
Yeah, 26 is pretty stout.
Yeah, even when that contractor would have been backfilling it, some
Sure.
rock fell on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Bounce off of it. I'm thinking whatever that thing is that we can't identify, I don't think that's from the outside
I don't either.
Something
It doesn't.
there.
It doesn't look. It doesn't have that signal of where it like pushed the pipe in.
Just don't know.
SDR shatters pretty. If it does penetrate, it usually does splinter out pretty good. I don't know. All I know is that it's open, and that you don't have to sleep in a hotel. And whatever it was hard as a rock,
It's gone.
because I couldn't get any blade except that bare cable to start playing ball.
So that protrusion that's still in there, is that an issue? Is that going to start collecting things, catching things?
I don't think so,
Okay.
because whatever was in there at first, if that's all that was, we would have blown right through it if it was a soft blockage.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's nothing laying in the city main either, because that's 8-inch. So probably once the line finally popped open, whatever was in there, it just washed on through and out. But whatever it was strong, and it put one heck of a fight up.
Yeah. Appreciate all your work.
Yeah, you
getting
bet.
it unclogged.
Yeah, that was this close from jetting.
I know.
I really just didn't want to have to do that on a residential unless I absolutely.
That the water jet is actually stronger than mechanical.
It'll
flooding.
cut you and clean into you like you were nothing.
Well, I'm sure it will.
Yeah,
But
it'll.
to go down the pipe.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, like blast rock away. And
I blasted concrete. I've cut concrete out. That's set up. Takes a while. I don't want to sit here and act like that thing's some magic potion. You know, it's
Are
up
they
to the
doing it
operator and how he feels it. But it takes some time. But yeah, it'll get through it.
How's the pipe survive?
It just takes it. It takes it like a champion. And it depends on what cutter head you're using. So I have some that oscillate in the front and only cut in the front, and then I just have rear jets only. I mean, it just kind of depends on what nozzle you have in there. But I've never seen a jetter actually puncture through the pipe. But as far as like gravel, sand, grease, mud, anything like that, yeah, it'll. Depending on how thick it is, just gotta have patience.
Yeah.
And as long as the pipe's not fully collapsed, I'll get it open. May just take a while. I'm telling you, yes. No. Because that was hard as a rock. Yes,
Yep.
sir. Yep. You want me to mark that spot where that's at? If you're not concerned about it, then I'll just keep pulling back. But if you want me to try to get a hit on it, I could try to locate that spot.
At the 80 feet?
Yes, sir.
Well, now, because you already marked 68,
Mm-hmm.
and so I saw green paint out there, all we have to do is mark 12 more feet.
But I think that mark was on the dive, I believe.
Really
Like I said, it's up to you guys.
doesn't matter where it happened.
Yeah, you're good.
Everything goes down.
If they're full, ma'am, or anything, just go ahead and let it go. It's not going to bother us, ma'am.
Or it's not gonna get. I want
No.
to like.
Is it on this stack?
She
Um,
won't know.
Like, what about washer dryer? Like washer. Is washing on that one or is on that one?
Because this one goes up, over, and then jumps up.
I think this one is the guest bathroom only.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I won't do the guest.
If it does, I'm going to keep this rag handy so I can just cover this thing up,
Okay. Okay.
Don't
So-
flush
just in case.
don't flush the guest.
Nothing irritates me more than telling somebody that you got to do a street cut or something crazy like that, just because people don't want to have the patience. It didn't feel like it was crushed. Nah, it didn't feel like it was crushed. And then once Devin actually hit the 100-foot marker, then it was definitely not crushed, because if not, you would have had a void or a canyon that the cable would have just been coiling up in.